Usually you pay for PPV, but this is free and this is real TV. Grab your cup, pour that drink, roll that blunt, and tell us what you think. Commas come pouring in, women be exposing, man. Fellas start to open up, shorties feeling down to fuck. It's a safe place, spill that tea. That cup is hot, don't let it fall on me. And the stage, you keep it funky, might speak for she think. Vibe from the BX, don't even try stink. Eva keep us humble, she consider your feels. And Tati got 3 kids, you better pay them bills. Time is money, make sure your clock is right. Sliding in DMs, you make sure your stock is tight. Ladies, they gonna tell you if you ain't rocking right. I'm telling you, dude, don't end up a topic tonight. It ain't all jokes, get serious too. If I can help what happened to me, not happen to you, it makes it worth it. Let's get drunk on purpose. Start telling stories we would never tell in person. It's real TV.
Welcome to TV. Everybody, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
How are we?
Doing good.
We're good. Trying today. You know, today is a hard day for me, but
It's okay. We have hard days.
yeah. So
You're very entitled to that.
we're trying today.
Shout out to everybody tuning in. Share the live. Subscribe to the page. I wanted to highlight that now we have 69 subscribers. It just keeps rising.
Woo!
Super excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yes. Shout out to everybody that watches us around the world. I've been looking at the demographics. I'm glad that you like our content, and any ideas you can DM us on any topics that you would like. Well, my name's Anastasia.
My name is Eva the Diva.
And V Max, stay logically valid. Hey guys,
Yes.
how are we?
Hi. And we have a guest today. Would you like to
Yay!
introduce yourself?
I'm David.
Welcome, David. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
What's
joining.
Thank you
up,
for having me.
David?
If you want to give us a little about yourself, you can.
I was born and raised in Staten Island, New York. Grew up in kind of a rough neighborhood. After I graduated high school, moved down to Florida, went to college, became a medical assistant, worked in a prison for 3 years, which is the best job I ever had in my life.
Nice.
It was,
Mhm.
I had the most fun there. Trust me. They say it's dangerous. It is, but you get paid very well to do a dangerous job.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been bouncing around trying to find what I really wanted to do in my life. So now I work as a diesel mechanic.
There you go.
Nice.
I know that. I remember you always worked on cars.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Awesome. Excited to have you on today's episode. I'm happy to be back in the studio. I was under the weather last week, so the ladies were by themselves.
Mhm.
Having a hard time with that one.
Really?
Yeah, that
I'm
was a
still
weird.
disgusted.
Yeah, it was a weird topic. You missed the conversation.
I know. Clips are
You got to
gonna
go back
be-
and watch if you haven't seen it. DNA Boozled. It was pretty good, but interesting topic.
Yeah.
How did you feel now before we get into our topic this week? And anyone that is tuning in that was on last week's episode, any feedback, you can definitely give it to us. But what are your thoughts on the documentary that you guys had to watch?
Disgusted. Disgusted.
little-
Like I really couldn't get over it.
Mm.
I was a little bit mad that there isn't any more legal things that could give some ramifications with what happened during that time and stuff like that. Like
Yes.
that man deserves to be in jail. I'm
Yes.
probably not as mad as the people who went in looking for sperm donors, but I am disgusted for the ones who had their own husband's sperm and he still didn't use it.
Well, sometimes it
94.
depends on the situation. Sometimes there's sperm. But
Well, if I go in for a
Dave-
sperm donor and I know who it is, I mean, it is what it is. But you shouldn't be doing it. It's just weird.
yeah, no, accurate. So just to catch you up, this is a documentary on Netflix I had the ladies watch. Last week's episode was DNA Boozled, and the documentary on Netflix is called Our Father, where there's a GYN doctor. He helps people that have problems with infertility.
Fertility.
And sometimes even with couples, they can't get pregnant, right? So they go in the office, do the IVF for sperm donors. And he was using his own, but letting them know that he had people that he would take from, but that was a lie. So now you're in a small town with an immense amount of siblings, and they did not know. So,
Yeah. At the time of the documentary, it had like 94 siblings, and still
And
counting.
they were still in,
94.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he claimed he only did it a handful of times. There would be
First
no
it was
more than
only
10.
like 5, then it was only 10, then it was only 15, then it was like, oh no, and 94 known.
Ew.
No.
Wow.
Who knows at this point? But you're right. I definitely agree with more of a legal standpoint that people should be held accountable.
Yeah.
I saw that there's over 331 cases in the U.S. Over 70 doctors who did this in the 70s and 80s when fertility stuff was popular,
Yeah.
and there is no federal legislator that holds them accountable for using
Which
their
is
own specimen.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what threw me off too, like that number, the 300 and something. It's like out of 74 people, 300 and something, only 94 are one person.
Mhm.
Imagine
He
the
was
other
the worst.
ones.
Crazy.
And
But-
that's just the one they know about. But yeah.
Exactly. For the ones that don't get counted. But if you have not, go grab your drink. It could even be water too, whatever it is. We're about to get into the topic, riding Six Flags.
Put your hands in the air and just enjoy the ride.
Facts. Some like the ride. Some
Bruh.
like the ride, and we're gonna get into that. The red flag, and you're still moving forward.
Sorry. My bad. That was my
All
bad.
good. All good.
Trying to put a pose on Instagram at the same time that I should have did before, but I wasn't prepared. And anyway, sorry.
It happens. All good. All good. Everybody listening in, today's topic is riding Six Flags. When you see red flags and you keep moving forward, we'll get into the nitty gritty of them. Our own red flags. That's going to be interesting to hear.
So I'd like to know, I mean, that's the first thing I guess on the list.
Okay.
What are your no-go red flags? Like you're no way, you see this red flag that you're no way passing it because this is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Mhm.
Okay, definitely one of them that stands out for me is if someone's trying to talk to me and they have a newborn. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. Not doing it. I don't care what kind of story you're telling me. Oh, me and my being are not together, or we live in the same house still currently, but we're not together. Nah, fuck out of here. I'm good.
What like how young is a newborn? Like what's the max age? How old does the kid have to be for you?
I still feel like even if you have a 1-year-old, like nah, that's too soon.
Okay.
You're gonna have still some ties. I don't care what you tell me.
That's your no-go. All right.
That's one
Eva?
of them that stands out. Yeah.
Eva, what's your top no-go?
I would honestly say multiple baby mamas.
Okay. I mean,
Because it kind of just
it
reflects
depends.
to me. It's like if it's not even about I guess to you it's not about having a family in general.
Well, do you mean like 1 or 2 with like
I mean,
6
like
kids, or like 6 baby
The
mamas with
amount
6
of
different
kids-
kids?
Look, the amount of kids, I don't care. As long as you take care of them, we good.
Right?
You could have 1, you could have 5. Perfectly
What if
fine.
they have,
I
like,
don't
8?
care. What I care about is you have like 6 baby mamas. I don't know if that happens. I'm saying like 5 baby
It
mamas.
definitely does happen.
And like
What if they
got
had
3 with one,
6
1 with
baby
nothing.
mamas and a kid from each one?
Yeah, nah.
Just one kid for each.
Because
mom.
it just means that you have no commitment. You're not really looking to be serious with somebody. You're not really to settle down with and have that home. You're still doing this, and I'm not gonna be part of that.
But is there a limit? Is it more than, do you mean more than 1 or like more than 3?
More than
What's your hard stop?
Because I think
I would
2,
maybe more than 1 or 2, honestly.
I think 2 is probably the max I would go, because things happen in life. If you did make young, dumb choices and then you got older and then long-term thing happen, and then, I don't think now 4, 5, 6, then it's like, okay, there's a problem.
Somewhere.
She said somewhere around that range.
Taylor, what's
yeah,
your
more
your
than
no
two.
go? I'm sorry. What's your no go? Your biggest red flag? There's no go. Hard stop.
I want to say for me is don't try to change me into someone that I'm not. If
Girl.
accept me for who I am. You know,
I
don't
like
try to
that.
force don't force me to be someone that I can't be for you.
Right.
You know, I'm my own person. Whoever you dealt with in the past, that's him. I'm not that person.
Mm.
So you're dealing with a different type of person now. You have to learn to accept that. Because if he's willing to compromise, then he can change some things about himself, but he has to do it for himself, not for you.
Yeah.
Real
like
quick,
that.
and I don't even mean to interrupt. There's some background noise, and I don't know who it's.
I know. I hear a lot of static on my end.
Yeah, you got headphones in? Is that one?
I've been doing it like that.
You have headphones in?
No, now it sounds a little bit better.
Yeah, not on our end though. It's like even when you talk, it's like a robot.
Me?
Yeah, I hear that too.
Eva. It's when Eva talks.
Eva, you have headphones?
No.
Can you grab headphones?
I want to actually. I'm gonna leave and I'll come back because I think that's maybe something.
All right. Yeah, because sorry, everyone listening. I just
malfunctions as always.
It's hard for me to hear you. No, it's all good. All right. So number one red flag for you is if they're controlling.
Or try to change him.
Or try to change. Oh yes. So try to part of controlling. Like, no, I need you to be like this.
Well, not so much. It's not I need you to be like this. It's like when if a female's trying to secretly want you to do things that's out of your normal. Like if a man was trying to change you to be something you're not, instead of accepting you for who you are. Like you can be like this witty, goofy girl that loves anime and dress like them, and that's who you are.
Sounds like Val.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with anime.
No. So has that happened to you, David? Like somebody trying to change you?
Yeah, my ex-wife.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, she wanted to, and that's the thing. Like I don't want to, I can't bash her. I don't do that. I don't want to bash her. But during our relationship together, even our marriage, she was very controlling. She wanted to control everything that I did. She wanted to know where I was at. It was just, it was too much.
Was there cause for distrust?
You can be honest. You better give it to us.
Yeah, there was cause for distrust, but on both ends, you know.
Okay.
It was, you know, a lot of accusing when I wasn't doing anything, and when I had enough, I just went out and did it, and then I told on myself, like I just didn't care.
Wow.
She said, "You really?"
My camera. It's on the look.
Oh, I thought you had a question. Like, why is she raising her head?
So my camera is an AI, and I'm trying to get it to stop moving, so it's not so it doesn't respond to every movement I do, but it's not doing what I wanted to do right now. Anyway, okay. Sorry.
You could bring it back in. She's in.
Oh.
Welcome back.
We don't hear no static.
Hello. Yeah. Am I good? Okay.
Yeah, you good.
So I just asked David about so basically someone that's a little controlling trying to change who he is definitely a big red flag for him. So I asked just to catch you up, has that happened to you? Which it has. He said in his marriage before, like his ex-wife would want to control things he did.
And that was one of my questions. Is it maybe more of was it in a negative way?
Yeah. Come on,
we had
someone is
listen,
negative.
I'm not even gonna lie. We had a very, very toxic relationship and very toxic marriage. Like there was a lot of mental, verbal abuse. You know, at times it would get so heated, she would get physical. Like I would have to stop her from like trying to swing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
that's done there.
It was. I mean, it was like 15, almost 16 years of me going through it to the point where it was just normal to me.
Well, yeah, because you guys were together young.
So
Right, yeah.
Let me ask this. Looking back at what you know now, what would have been a red flag that you could have noticed early that you should have walked away?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I never even thought about it. Once I left, I was gone. I don't think back. But if I did think about it, and I want to say I would have wanted to change everything from before I had met her up until everything that I've learned now, because I had a real horrible drinking problem. And that was the start of most of our arguments and the toxicity that went on in the house. I was drinking every day. But I was drinking since I was 6 years old. And all those years of me drinking and everything that I have witnessed in my life, especially when I worked in the prison, everything that I witnessed in here, like everything that I've seen, I don't want to come home and then tell my wife everything that I just witnessed. You don't want to put that type of imagery in your wife's head.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like I would drown it out with alcohol, but I would never bother anybody. I would just be in my garage by myself. And she would come in and say, "Oh, you're drinking again." That would start a whole fight. Never mind that dinner was done, house is clean. It's me sitting in the garage drinking. So that was, I would definitely would have, if I would have never touched the alcohol, I think a lot of things would have changed in my life. Like that had such a hold. And, you know, people say, oh, you know, drugs are a fucked up thing. Yeah, they are. But the number one things that people can't quit is alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's like right now, it's for me, I quit drinking and I've been hardcore at the gym. I still get that, you know, I get thirsty at times. I want to have a cold one or I want to have a shot.
Yeah.
But I don't touch it. You know, even if I see it in the house, I fight that urge.
I'm so happy to know that you're now in, you know, recovery with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy too. I feel 100 times better. I can focus more. I don't have like an immense weight on my shoulders all the time. So it's one of those great feelings.
That's good.
So you're
Plus I want to live to see about 70, 80. So
exactly. So you're saying basically then the red flag stemmed from you in the beginning. It
did, yeah. Yeah. I was
a
walking red flag, like I was bleeding. I had it was a lot of
that kind of goes back to my question, David, because when I asked, was it a negative way? Maybe she did do negative things, but like it came down to where she was maybe not wanting to totally change you, but she was doing it in the wrong way. But she was maybe trying to help you on stopping that. That's where I feel it's like sometimes somebody always kind of focuses on like, oh, well, they were trying to make me somebody who I'm not, but maybe they just didn't know how to communicate it.
That's a good
and
point.
Say it the right way. To
communication was non-existent.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing. You choosing to run into red flags, right? You get on that ride, you can't expect to fix that person unless they want to be fixed.
Because I'm sure if you knew David, right? Like as soon as when you guys got together, that you were a drinker, because you stated that you were been drinking since a kid.
Well, when we met, she knew I was drinking.
Right.
Like my teenage years was can party hard or go home. You know what I mean? So it's like I woke up with a bottle and fell asleep.
Jumped on. Yep.
She jumped on the ride and just held on for dear life.
She might have liked it at first.
Right.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. You're a teenager. It's fun. You know what I mean? Like you're having a good time, partying all the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, as they do say, women mature faster than men. So it's like you get to that point where I don't want to drink all the time. I don't want to. This doesn't have to be an everyday thing. Where me, on the other hand, I had a disease. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was suffering from alcoholism, and which it runs in my family. So there's a lot of alcoholism, a lot of drugs that run in my family that I was privy to. So I had my hands all up in it. Even when I was a kid, I was always, you know, and nobody stopped me. And it's not like I was shown a different path.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was since I was a kid.
Well, more part
So,
to
and what?
you on the sobriety. I mean, that is
Yeah.
an
Yeah, it's
accomplishment
hard.
in itself,
Yeah,
and to acknowledge where you had a problem. I mean, most people don't even get to that point.
for real, exactly.
The hardest fight you're ever gonna have is with yourself.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Super proud of you though. Every day's a new
Thank you.
day,
I really do appreciate that.
and I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that can
Keep
relate.
pushing.
And they're probably like, "Wow, he's doing it. I can too." So I even
Mhm.
appreciate you even sharing that because I know that's personal.
One day at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time. And so, at which point do you feel and I know that you said you were with her a long time, that it started to go downhill? Because of course, right? She liked the ride at first, right? It is what it is. You were kids doing your thing, and then at one point it just became really toxic.
I want to say that the ride was always on a downhill. It's just whether it hit rock bottom at that's when that was the real like answer. Like when did it hit rock bottom?
Mm.
I want to say when we were already in a toxic relationship and we got married at a wrong time. Like we never made amends with all the bullshit that was going on in our lives and our relationship. So that way we can start a new chapter. You know what I mean? So we just got married, and then when we had to move back to New York after we had, Isabella, we had our first child. Um, we had to move back to New York. I said, listen, we're gonna go back to New York. We're gonna start something new. Let's leave all this luggage here. Don't bring all that shit with you. Like, just leave it in the past. We're starting somewhere new. And we drove up there, and her luggage was in the back. So she carried all of that
Mm.
anger and resentment and frustration and all this other stuff with us, and it just continued in New York. So it was like
Yeah.
New York was the downfall. Like that was it. Like I had enough.
Right.
It was affecting my job. I used to work at Home Depot on Tarji Street, and she was calling me, and we were fighting and arguing. And I used to work in receiving, and one of my closest friends, he whatever I was going through, he went through the exact same thing, almost like he was visioning it again. Everything that I was going through, and he was helping me and he guided me, and he just stood by my side. And shout out to Marcus for that, because he was a real friend. You know what I mean? He really had my back on that. And at one point I just had enough. It was affecting my work. It got to the point where he had to grab the phone and say, hey, he's got to work, you got to stop calling. And then one day I just snapped, and then I looked at my phone, I looked at Marcus, and I said, I want a divorce, and I hung up the phone. And that was it. And that's when we separated.
Breaking point.
Yeah. Do you think that your drinking was a trigger for her though? And then
my drinking was definitely a trigger for her. I can admit to that. But the way she carried on, and I know that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. For me, I did my shit. I can own up to my shit. But when it comes to her, she did everything emotions. Like, if I triggered her with the drinking, everything came from back 5 years ago, what I did, and she was throwing it in my face. And I'm like, yo, you got to let that go. It's just a long time ago, let it go. And it's like, she just didn't want to do it. She doesn't know how. She doesn't know how to let go. And I just constantly throwing shit in my face. It was just getting too much.
Yeah.
At even when
point, it's like you have to know when you can't move past. That's one of the things that I think a lot of people tend to struggle with.
Yeah.
Is what you signed up for, and you accept it, and you're riding those red flags. You shouldn't deal with it, but you care about this person, you love that person, and then you resent them for everything you accepted.
Yeah, and then you have to think
about correct.
When does this ride stop?
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, mine didn't have any brakes, so.
He said there was no slowing down. He's like, no smooth. They just went.
I'm trying to go through the rocks and going back uphill. That's
right.
When the roller coaster goes the regular way and then it stops, right? You think it's over, then it goes backwards.
Oh God.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I love those rides.
So we spoke about, well, I didn't get to say, but we spoke about what is your top biggest red flag, what you wouldn't really go past, right? What are some of the things that you know is a red flag at first, and you're like, is it that bad? And you probably will look past.
Eva, if you want to go.
Mine is gonna be very small and petty, maybe.
Here we go. I'm a little concerned. All right, huh?
But it's like your upkeep of like the guy. If like the guy is like
hygiene,
that's like physical
to me,
hygiene
like,
or
why?
Home.
Why?
Yeah, like
everything, like yourself in your home. Like why? Like, are you depressed? Like, are you mad? Who got you angry? Why are you just like, are you trying to make a statement? Like, what is going on with you?
You would look past that?
I think I can question that.
Because are you looking at it as like, okay, what else is happening in your life that you're downfalling your hygiene?
May be able to look past certain things, but I'm not too sure. And I think that's like the only thing, because other than that, I've learned a lot in a lot of red flags. As soon as I see them, I'm like, that may be like the only thing. It's kind of like, I'll give you some chances.
All right. So what's a red flag that you see and are out automatically? That you said that since you're petty sometimes.
I take a note of everything. I'm very observant. So if we're on a date, and you put your phone down,
upside, like face down,
that's a red flag to you.
That's a red flag to me too, though. Yes, it is.
Because you're trying to show like
stop right there. Hold on, stop. Nope.
But at the same time, you can't see who's calling.
No, first of all, wait a minute. When you're as someone who's a business professional, my phone goes off. I get notifications for emails. I get notifications for applications. I don't need that popping up every 5 seconds, or my phone goes down. That does not mean that I'm hiding something. And I can't.
But why put it out downside anyways?
Upside down.
Because you don't need to see every email that.
Then why take it out?
If it happens to be there, I work for a living, bro. I'm a professional.
No.
What do you mean?
Literally.
Why is that a red flag?
Literally, like if you just willingly pull out your phone, you're like, and then you like put it down and you put it on.
I agree
this.
with Eva,
yeah,
I agree with Eva.
It's like why even pull it out? Trust me.
And I think because this has happened to me before.
Even busy businessmen,
that keeps their phone up.
They don't even do that.
That you're hiding something, or you don't want someone else to see what's popping up on your screen.
You're making it seem like you're not, but you are.
But it's none of your business, though. That's the thing. I mean, I think there's a limit there.
It's not that it's a big deal, I guess, but that's what I'm looking at already.
That will turn me off.
That's what I'm observing.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, that one's not really a red flag. I could understand the weariness behind it, but in my mind, trust. I'm giving you a certain level of. Hold on, time out. I'm giving you a certain level of trust, and if I can't trust you, I'm not gonna be with you, right? So if you don't disrespect my trust, we good. I'm not gonna question certain things that I know I would do the same, because I'm not gonna do nothing to disrespect.
I think then we question it, because I wouldn't do that. My phone is right there. If it is out, I don't care what pops up on my screen, because
I mean, it don't need to show every notification that you don't. It's not even intentional. I'd rather you see my cover than my actual phone.
I mean,
that's what it's there for.
I don't know. I agree with Eva on this, though. It will give me like.
I don't see that as a red flag. I'm sorry, but I get it.
It gives me like the alarm, though. Like, sus.
It's like you're looking at it, you're
yellow
like,
flag?
okay. Because honestly, it could happen that you could just grab it and you just put it down. You didn't even notice it. Okay, fine. But if you continue doing it, it's like,
sus.
I ain't gonna say shit. I'm not gonna be sitting there like, why are you putting your phone down? No, but I am gonna look at you. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm just gonna keep observing. If it happens again, or it happens like all the time or at certain places, now I'm gonna be like, yeah. You
being too observant. Stop looking.
Right, when you look, the thing is, every time you look, you're gonna find something you don't like, even if the intent isn't what you want it to. It was that,
and I'm gonna tell you where this also stems from. Like from this person that I was in a relationship with, I found out had 2 phones.
Oh hell no! Hey,
That's
yo,
a red flag. Having two phones is a red flag.
No, but I didn't know them. I only knew the work phone and the personal phone, whatever. But then there was like
How'd you
another
find
one,
the second phone? Don't.
and I was like,
"How'd you find the second phone?"
"Hmm."
How'd you find the second phone? She said,
Look, it came a point
"No,
where this was, David, a toxic relationship. Okay,
Okay.
so just so you know, yeah, we've all been there. We've all
So
had
when he
one.
was sleeping, you were searching for his phone.
No. He told
How did
me.
it happen?
He told me.
What?
Oh, he told you about the phone?
He just came out and said
I can
it?
respect the
Because
honesty.
at this point, he got caught. So I'm on the phone with the girl. And I'm like,
Man,
bro, like,
I hope you got
stop
your
acting
drink.
like, because he was like bombing my phone at that time. Me and her, we were talking, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, bro, leave me alone right now. Like, I'm talking to her. And he's like, no. He's like,
You're talking to her in
she
front of
said, no, we were on the phone.
Oh.
And then I was like, she says she's on her way there. Like, she's gonna pick up her shit from your house, yada yada yada. And he's like, I'm not even home. And she's like, yeah, he is. I can see it on his location. And I was like, well, she says she has your location and she's coming to you right now. And he was like, oh yeah, that's the other phone.
What?
Like, oh, what? So then once that conversation like passed or whatever, yeah, I got the whole truth of the phone.
So did
So
you
he
stay
didn't-
after that?
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
I was just saying,
Oh,
or
we
did
thought
you
that
finish
you
taking
went
that ride? I'm
outside
thinking you got back on the ride and got back
Oh
on the
no,
ride.
no. But that's why it's a red flag for me.
Understood.
Uh,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I think
I mean, when I go out to eat, I don't even have my phone out. Like, because
See? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, what's
I
the
don't know,
point
for
of
me,
having
if,
it
like-
out?
Definitely you don't.
I mean, if I'm taking my wife out to dinner or when I'm with the kids, my phone either stays in my pocket. And if I do take it out, I leave it face up. Because I don't have nobody fucking calling me. I don't care who calls me. I'm not going to pick it up. But I leave it face up just in case, like, if my daughter calls me from New York, then I'll answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think my biggest pet peeve for my wife's biggest pet peeve for me is that when we're out and I know that we're at a sports bar, I'm on the TV. Like, you know, I'm watching the TV at the place that we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's normal.
And she's like, hey, I'm talking to you. What the fuck are you doing?
Not paying
I'm
attention.
sorry. Not paying. I'm watching the Giants. What the fuck?
So what if the girl all of a sudden started putting her phone upside down? Would you start to question it?
No, because I don't give a shit.
He's like, no, but now that y'all mentioned
Listen,
it,
you
maybe.
gotta trust people. It takes too much time and energy not to trust somebody. You have to trust
Exactly.
them to be who they are. They're gonna if they're doing something, they're gonna do it anyway.
Yep.
True.
Why am I'm gonna get a headache and get more stress? I got more stress at my job. I have to worry about not getting crushed by a 15,000-pound engine.
Mhm.
And I'm under an engine every day. I gotta worry about that to come home to start. When I come home, she's supposed to be my peace.
Accurate. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she works from home. I get home, if she sees it on my face, I had a fucked up day, she don't even bother me. I'll throw on the game. I'll throw on a movie that has sequels to it. She's like, oh, okay, he's going through some shit. Kids, leave your father alone.
That's how we feeling today.
But then she'll come to me and say, hey, I know you look like you had a fucked up day. Just letting you know I'm here.
That's
All right, cool.
That's
But
it.
she gave me the opportunity to come to her. That's the point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She didn't attack me and say, I need to know now. I need you to tell me now. What's up?
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes
She gave me the space. She gave me the opportunity. And little does she know, she'll be on the computer just fucking around, and 2 hours later, you know what this motherfucker did? She's like this. All attention on me now, because now it's like I just broke
Now you
open.
come out right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I had that opportunity to calm down, wind
Unwind.
down about everything that I went through all day. And then
Yeah.
now she's willing to give me that attention so I can get everything off my chest. But if you sit there and try to attack the man, like, I need to know now. Now it's like, now you're being another headache to me now.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause now you're forcing me to speak about something I'm not ready to talk about yet. Give me some time. I'll talk about it. But there's some things that a lot of women don't understand. They can't relate to it. Only another man will. So a man will talk to another man about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the girl would get
ladies.
mad because of why couldn't you talk to me about it? And I said, because you wouldn't understand. Like, I'm not a female, so I'm not gonna understand what you're going through.
Right.
But you can try to
Sometimes
explain
it's
it, but
not
I'm
even.
still gonna be like, okay.
Well, see, I wouldn't respond. Okay. I mean, sometimes it's not about just to understand. It's just to hear her out. You just want to hear them out. They want to be heard. We just want to be
Yeah.
heard.
No, it's not just that too, but
I
I
get
understand.
it.
Like sometimes, like even with us, like there's sometimes that I know that I can come to you guys because I know you guys are gonna understand,
We're like,
and maybe
bitch,
not even
no, what
mention
the
it if
fuck
I had a
happened to us?
partner, but till like later. But I won't like
Yeah.
sit there and discuss it. Like I'll discuss it rather with you guys first, and then let him know or talk
Right.
about it with him after.
Yeah, you got to
But-
get
a lot of
initial vent
Depends.
out.
a lot of people. I was gonna say women industry, but a lot of people tend to want how they deal with things. Some people need to blurt it all out, speak about it now, get it all out of their chest,
Mhm.
and other people need a moment, need a second. Let me retreat. Let me gather my thoughts. So I'm not blaming you. I can cope the way I need to, right?
Mhm.
And the conflicting thing is when people try to force you to communicate when you're not ready to.
Yeah.
Because you're ready, that's how you handle it. Doesn't mean I have to handle it that way. So give me a
Yeah.
second. And that's one of the things that causes a lot of conflict. People don't tend, well, why won't you talk now? Let's talk now. Let's get this over. Let's talk about it. Bro, shut up and leave me alone for a minute because I'm
Yeah.
gonna punch you in your face. Like,
Yeah.
You got to respect people's needs, right?
right.
Well, so now that Eva answered, Val, what is a red flag that you possibly gonna keep riding?
A red flag that I would keep writing.
Yeah, that is not that serious in the beginning. You're like, I see you, but I'm gonna stay on here and let's see where this goes.
Damn, I'm not even going to say that one. I'm not going to
What
use
do
the
you
honest answer.
mean?
Let's use the politically correct one. A red flag for me, someone with you know
That's
what? Okay. Maybe in a girlfriend. May have a girlfriend. Or there's someone there.
You mean like a side chick?
Yeah, there's someone in the picture. There's someone they fuck with. There's someone they talk to.
Not
That's a red flag.
side chick particular,
Here-
but more of like that friend that he thinks is just a friend, but she really likes him type of thing.
That's
and
a red
in
flag
her head, it's like
automatically.
they're
That
into
means you
something.
fucking with somebody, right? So you
Okay.
fucking with somebody. Not married. I'm not saying I'm married, but that means you fucking with somebody.
So
If
let
you
me
tell me I'm
clarify.
kind of in something, and if I like you, I might look past that because that something may not be forever. You obviously looking somewhere else because you're not happy, kind of thing. Like people, I'm not forcing you. You choosing to. So something that's not what it is. Obviously, whatever's going on in that is a red flag that I have to learn to no longer ride. Because that never works. But I think that one of the things that I've learned, it was more so because of where I was in my life. I was emotionally unavailable, and it was easier for me to deal with those types of situations because I didn't want to get emotionally invested in anyone. Go now as an older adult, that's something that I won't go past anymore. But I've been in that road. I will say that's the honest answer.
I like it.
But yeah.
I
didn't get to mention my absolute no-go, like absolute no-go,
what's
a
your
red
no-go?
flag for me. And this may sound, and this is more so because of where I am today in my life.
Okay.
I can't date a man who's never experienced living independently on his own.
I can agree with that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
I can't. If you've always lived with mom, if you've always lived with a woman, if you've always lived at grandma's, and in your late 30s now, because I'm in my late 30s and that's where I date in that realm, and you've never experienced that, I could understand that you were out on your own, you got with your girl, separated, whatever, and maybe ended up back home to rebuild.
Yeah,
that's understandable. But if you've never experienced that independence, that's a red flag for me.
That's because they never have responsibilities.
Right. And I can't depend on you for shit. Then that means to me that you've never, as an adult where I am in my life, if you tell me that, no, you're looking for a place to stay. I'm sorry. No, thank you. I won't ride that shit. No, I'm not riding that shit. I'm not riding that shit.
Let's say they opened up about this on a date, like you're out, like having dinner or a drink.
Oh, I'm gonna finish the date.
So you're
gonna. I'm never gonna. No, yeah.
I ain't gonna turn down a meal. Shit.
Okay, but Val,
well, I might go Dutch. I might go Dutch because I know I don't want to see this person again.
What if they're
I'll
like,
pay for
oh
my
yeah,
own.
I've
I'll
been
pay for
living
my
with my
food.
mom
Okay.
because I've been working on my career and been in school and whatnot, and it was just like
Not at
easier
the
because
age
now
I
I
am.
saved and I've got my business and this and that. So it's like, I don't know,
The
something
whole
like
time,
that. Going there.
he's never
Your
been
entire life. Your entire life.
Entire life. I mean, yeah, I guess it's harder to explain now that we're in our 30s.
Yeah. No.
I got a question.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I actually, so my question is that, okay, so you said that, and there are men out there that own their responsibilities. They have been living alone,
Okay.
or they had a family, whatever. They're doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those men actually have their mom move in with them so they can take care of their mom.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to that?
That's fine.
I think
The
it's
thing
dope.
is, you
Like,
had
oh, wow.
that. My thing is, you've had that independence. You know what it's like to pay rent on your own. You know what it's like to carry a household on your own. You are a grown man who handles what he's supposed to handle, and now you're stepping up to take care of your mother. I can respect that.
And they always say a
You
man
see
that
how you see it like that? Not a lot of people see it like that. They see it as, oh, your mother lives with you. You still living with your mom, and it's like, no, I'm taking care of her.
Right.
No, the
There's a
mom
difference.
was
No,
with him
it's
at that point.
see, my issue is not that you may or may not live with your mom at a certain point. My issue is if you've never left. You never
Yeah.
left
Mm.
home. You
Not
never.
even one
You
time.
still, yeah, not once in your entire life have you
Yeah, I get
ever
that.
paid rent on your own. That at with the age that I am today and where I am, that's a total red flag. And if you tell me that's the case, I will not speak to you again.
Straight ghost.
Straight goes.
For
I may be
real.
nice enough.
He's
I may
young.
be nice. I may be nice enough. Be like, well, it's not you, it's me, and use my
What if
emotionally
he's younger,
unavailable.
Val? Does he get a pass?
If he's young, I'm not looking to take him serious. Then
Youngest.
I mean, it'll take a lot. See, it depends on how young. Hold on.
What's the youngest? Though?
And if he makes decent money that he can't, and he's saving towards something, he has ambition and certain things like that. I guess there's a gray area there for a younger man, but with the age I'm at, there's but so young
Younger
I would
men.
go.
But would you do young for sneaky links? Not a relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
How young?
The youngest I've gone is 10 years younger.
10 years?
But
Yeah,
like,
I can't.
right now?
I'm
Where's the
gonna be
youngest
hitting 40, so I don't think I could do under 30 for very long.
You look 30. Not even.
Bro.
So
yeah, for
what's the young-
with
for a
where I'm
sneaky link,
heading,
that's totally
and the
different.
age
That's not a
group also jumps up with.
Yeah. I don't think you have the time to go any younger than that because you don't have time to train them.
No, I don't.
We all know in the decade.
No, those
I'm
young
not trying to train no 18-year-old to like what I like.
I'm not doing no 18. No, I'm saying 25, 28 is not a bad
25.
age.
I can see fine.
However, those are the ones that have the energy that you can't really keep up with.
Exactly.
Like, hold on, let me stay within my lane. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing. Nah, I welcome it. 25, 20 is a good age. But as I get older, that's gonna have to change as well.
Right. I mean, there's women out here that still be with 20-year-olds.
More power to them. That is not me.
For a sneaky link, not a relationship, but
right.
You know, that's different.
There's been so much. See, the thing is that I gotta actually like you to fuck you, and if I don't see how
you
much
have a different outlook on it. Like you need more of a little emotional connection.
Yeah. There's got to be mental stimulation for me.
You need,
For me, the mental stimulation got to be there. There's got to be more invested in that for me to really like enjoy that type of connection type of thing. I don't know. It's just.
Isn't that like the difference between men and women though? Like you just have to have a certain type of emotional connection to sleep with that somebody, where men don't have to have that.
Not all.
No, I didn't say all women. I said like a lot of women do.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of women have to have, whether it's a slither or a lot of emotional connection with that person to even think about sleeping with them. To whereas men, I'm just here to fuck. That's all I'm doing.
Right. That is the biggest difference with how men and women look at sex or intimacy. I think that for me, it's not an emotional, it's more like an intellectual thing. It's a mental thing for me to even consider something, right? And I don't have to be emotionally invested with you to be willing to have sex with you, because there's times I'm like, it's an itch kind of thing. But I'm stimulated by you somehow. So it's not like just to do it. I've never been able to do that. And men will do it just to do it because they can.
That's if they can.
Right, exactly. If they can, they're going to do it.
If they have the opportunity, they can. I mean,
right.
I mean, it's known that women can do it with whoever they want. Men don't have it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can. It's like we have sex with who we can. Y'all can have sex with whoever you want.
Whoever.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
the
biggest thing.
Talking about sex that I miss.
No, I think the question the statement came about that David mentioned, which is accurate, is that women need to be some form of emotionally stimulated, and men will just do it because they can, basically, or because they let them.
Anything with the pulse.
I can have emotions separate though. That's not hard for me.
Yeah, no, I can have emotions separate, but I gotta have some form of stimulation. That's where, for me,
something needs to give.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's like not even always physical, cause like,
God, I'm guys, y'all, man, bro.
There's some cute ass guys out there, ripped ass guys, nice shape and everything, but as soon as y'all open your mouth, ugh.
Yeah. The lady boner guy. The lady boner just drops. No, it's just like,
oh gosh.
Is there any red flags sexually?
Oh yes, for me.
Ooh.
But it's because I'm not a picky.
I think we all got one.
I'm a bit of a prude.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say prude. But what would be a red flag sexually for you?
You're not willing to experiment with me.
I could agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm saying like, hey, like we should be swinging outside from the freaking trees and trying to like poke each other. Like we ain't trying to do all that.
If you don't eat pussy, is a red flag for me, bro.
That I think that's the one we all have in common.
That is never. Then we not fucking. Like, I'm sorry, what? Nah. They was like, I don't even know what these.
I mean, it's only right. You know, the man goes into that sniper position and just start having his meal. You know what I mean? It's just. It goes both ways, though. You know what I mean?
So do you agree with that then? From as a man's perspective, if a girl doesn't give head, that's a red flag. Like you're not fit enough.
Not homeboys will still fuck.
No, we will still fuck. It's just that we don't care. We don't give a shit. I mean, that's how honest it is. We really don't care. Like, don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. Of course, I enjoy it. Women enjoy getting head all the time. I enjoy getting head, but I don't need it really.
You're still gonna. I
want in. That's what I want. Yeah. I want in.
Exactly. I know a lot of guys who don't care for head. They're like, I like it, right? I like it, but is it better than pussy? No. And then I know very few who will say head is better than pussy, though. Very few. That's really rare.
And I'm like,
I've never met a man. I've met many men who say the adverse, but they still gonna fuck. For me though, if you ain't eating it, I'm not fucking you.
I mean, with this eating it and then eating it the right way.
Well, there's that.
Because if you eating it not knowing what the fuck you're doing, that's just a complete turn off to a woman.
And then don't get off. Like
exactly.
It's a double-edged sword. Because David said like, oh, my thing is getting it in, right? But if we start with you eating it and you doing that from the top part type of thing, you ain't going in. You ain't going.
Wait, no, you were doing it again.
She did the whole gerbil thing when it's trying to drink water out the fucking tube.
Bro, the word.
Yo, that's comedy.
Like, no,
bruh.
Like, what you mean? What the fuck? No. Yeah, that's your canceled trip to the inside tunnel for the ride.
Yeah, like, I have to co-sign that one.
Eva, are you stopping them right there?
I'm giving you a chance. I may try and adjust your head. I may try to guide you in the right direction. I may turn the GPS on for you. And if you're not picking up that you need to
sign?
make a left. We got issues. Then I'll stop you, and then would you just do the other thing? Just forget about that. Let's see what you could do with the other part. And if that fails, then my guy, you ain't getting.
See, you're better than me. I would have stopped the whole thing. Like, you know what? I don't think this is the right thing.
Oh, I think I got my period.
Let me put my clothes back on and get out of here. Yeah.
That ass?
Oh, absolutely. You think if you can't lick it, why would I let you stick it?
No, they can lick it. They just can't eat it. That's
the same thing. Same thing.
This is the licking.
Wow.
No.
You better devour that shit,
bro.
There you go. Like it's your last meal. Like you on death row.
Eating your last
you
meal.
on trial right now. You on trial right now. This is what you have to do.
How long's the trial for?
No, fuck the trial. You on death row about to be executed. This is your last meal. You better eat it correctly.
That part, your last meal. I mean, look, it's not something that, oh my God, anytime that we have to have sex, it's going to have to be like 2 hours or something. And it has to be like all this, like, nah, bruh. Like sometimes it's just a little, right? But at the same time, like, can you just, before you, right? Like,
I mean, but then again, if you have someone that's doing it the right way and he just enjoys doing what he's doing, don't interrupt his meal. Like, why? It don't matter how long he's down there, leave him alone.
Yeah,
actually, sometimes he does
stay there.
If it's working, like if
because sometimes it's
no, stay there. You stay there. Please do.
Finish
me first.
Finish me first. It's like it's
a couple times, then we good.
True.
Nah, I would hate if it doesn't get to if it's like 2 hours and I haven't gotten to the point yet. You playing yourself,
bro. If it's 2 hours and you haven't came even one time,
nah,
that's a red flag. Fuck, you doing? What are you doing?
Looking everything but the clit.
Facts. Like what?
Like, do you know where it is? Shit.
That's when you turn the GPS.
I'm gonna tattoo a sign. I'm gonna tattoo a sign.
Tattoo a sign. Not here. Definitely not here. Right there.
So let's say you have someone that's really aggressive sexually. Would you consider that a red flag? Do you think that would show some of their personality?
Aggressive how?
I was just about to ask that. Like,
really?
Am I punching you in the face? Like,
I know some.
Are you getting karate chopped in the neck? What's going on?
Yeah,
like
I know some people that like to get punched in the face. Automatically, I should have known that was a red flag at first, because then it just showed characteristics afterwards in regular life.
Wait, he wanted to get punched in the face?
No, she
wanted to get punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And
they were going at
it. And you did it?
She was willing to explore. Why are you choking, Tashi? Why are you choking?
We in the moment. You know, we're in the moment. No problem.
I aim to please.
I aim to please.
But then I question it afterwards. Like, what the fuck?
Meg says it depends on how aggressive. Facts.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, at any point, have you ever encountered someone that was really aggressive that it like was like, is this something that I have to look out for in real life? You know what I mean?
Wait, during that sexy time?
Yeah, like, is there certain
sexy time? You're so cute. Doing sexy time?
That at that moment, right? I was like, what? Like, okay, like I've done crazy shit, but that was like, okay, if that's what you want. But then it did show in normal daily life red flags of that characteristic.
What? Okay, so I'm curious as to. So she wanted to get beat?
Basically.
Oh.
I mean, a part of it I liked it.
Was she an
part of me
as a child?
Part of me liked it.
Like maybe.
But then that had to be like, okay, what's right?
You know what? That's also a sign of abuse, right? Like someone who how they receive emotional love or affection. Maybe they were abused as a child, and they think that that's someone
love.
Showing some form of a love.
Accurate.
That's a big problem. That therapy is important, people.
Yeah.
But then that's why it made me question myself.
That you
Oh,
like doing
man.
it. Yeah, what the
red
fuck is
flag.
wrong with you, bitch?
I mean, if you're willing to go that far, I mean, might as well keep going.
Yes.
That's just like, look.
It was
Introduce a
Like
baseball
this.
bat while you're at it.
Mm-mm.
Introduce some new
Wow.
toys.
But in the moment, I didn't.
Mm.
It was like afterwards that I thought about it. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm not even
No,
sure how
that
that
didn't even-
happens.
I think you would have had a limit and stopped if she would have introduced brass knuckles. I mean, that would have been it for you.
There. There's a few things that I draw the line at, but it would have been
I
that.
think after one thing that I would say is that people need to learn your partner, right? Like really
Yeah.
learn if you
Yeah.
care about this person, you want this to continue, really learn what they like.
Yes.
Same tricks don't work all the time just because that's what you like. You got to be able
Yeah,
to
everybody
you
likes
know,
different things.
I've been with and then people where they stick to what they know, they stick to what they like, and they don't do anything different, which is cool.
But do you
But
think that's a red flag then, not wanting to adjust to your new partner?
It's
Because
a
you're
re-
just used to one way, and then you're
it's
like,
a red flag on how they see the relationship.
Mm.
It's more like this is what it is kind of thing. Absolutely, it isn't a relationship; it's a situationship.
mm,
Someone who's not willing to learn you, someone who's not willing to make it more intimate or do things that knows that you would like because that care about you kind of thing.
yeah.
That tells you that that person's not into you. They just want to fuck you.
Right.
Mm.
And that kind of goes with the love languages, because it's like not everybody's gonna receive it the same way you want it.
Mhm.
So you do have to learn people's languages.
True.
Meg says, yes, it's important to communicate because things sometimes change and you got to spice it up. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Spice it up, but don't turn into American gladiators around the house.
I mean, so you have
David's like, "But did you got the gloves on?
Like,
Did you
you
have
have a
the
hard
makeup
stop
on? Like,
at
how
what
did
you're
this
not
look?"
doing with your girl. Like, let's say you've been together a long time, right? And
Right.
and saying like, right, you don't want it to get boring. You want it to keep it spicy. What is a hard stop for you that you're not willing to try with your wife?
Ooh.
That you're like,
Shit. I don't have a limit, so
you better be
Okay, I have a question. I'm gonna because that's gonna lead to something.
I
So another
mean-
question.
wait, hold on. Before you start asking the question, hold on. Wait.
You gotta think about how you're wording it.
All right, so look, okay, so
What are your no-goes?
when it comes to, okay, for me, a no-go is I'm not having anything stuck in my ass. That's just not happening.
Got it.
Anything else, I'm okay with. Just no.
Okay.
All right.
What about licked?
What
Not
about
stuck up.
Yeah.
What if they
Wait, huh?
What if they licked your asshole? Not.
I mean, I've had it. I've had it done. I mean, it's not for me though.
You don't like it?
Nah, I don't. I've had it done to me. It's not for me. I don't like it. I mean, it's all right, whatever. But
Okay.
Yeah.
do I do it? Oh, I'm a sushi. I do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Got it.
You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. Like, I don't want to. With my wife now, like I want to keep everything. I want to do different things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if she is too shy or too afraid to do it, I have to respect that.
Right.
Okay, you're not ready for it. That's fine. But it's hard for her to come out of her shell because she's not that type of person. So, in other words, like she's more of a vanilla compared to what I am.
Okay.
I mean, it's not.
You know what I mean?
I'm not.
That's like it's like the best way I could describe it. She has experience with me a lot of things, but she hasn't really tapped into that realm of, you know what I mean, of doing what she can do.
Said no backdoor play for me.
Really? No, not even tongue, Megan? Wow.
I'll do the tongue. I'm not an anal person though.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not an anal person. It's not for me, really. I don't get pleasure out of it. So,
I mean,
he was like, oh, that's not really the case.
I mean, just like, look, I'm willing to explore, okay? But the thing is, it has to be with a certain person. Like, I can't just really just kind of try and do these crazy things or kinky things, freaky things with just everybody.
Right.
So it's like it's kind of hard to kind of see like, like, are we here? Like, is he everything? And then can I ask him if he wants me to tie him up? Type of shit. You know, like is he willing? Type of shit. Okay. I have to observe again. I'm observing, David. See.
But sometimes you just gotta do it. Don't ask questions.
See that? Okay.
You know.
Look at that.
Grab his wrist and tie it up. And if you get a reaction out of him, okay, maybe you're not ready for that, sir. But then if you don't get a reaction, keep tying me up. Fuck.
He said, maybe you're not ready for that. All right, we won't do it. Megan says, yes, Tashi, it don't feel good. I don't know what it is. LOL. I tried it a couple times, but she's fit for anything else. Everything else. Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm really open to things, just not that. It's not me.
Yeah.
But so I did have a question. Do you think when it comes to women, right? And when you hear the saying like, oh, nice guys finish last, is it because the nice guys could come off boring to a female that likes certain red flags because it's spicy?
Personally, I don't agree with the statement that nice guys finish last. For me,
I don't agree with that either.
Me either.
But I know that is a common belief.
Yes.
Because of when you chasing video hoes, they're gonna treat the nice guys like shit, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I ain't no video hoe. I ain't one of the Instagram models. I don't give a shit about none of that. I'm an actual female, actual human being, and I respect a nice guy. But what bothers me is when nice guys do the same asshole shit as a fucked up individual. Like, it's not, you ain't different. You still a nigga. Like, it's still a man. You still doing the dumb shit. Like, what are you doing, bro?
And then you have the audacity.
I hate the nice guys who come with the persona like they're the nice guy and they're not. That's my thing. It's like y'all still some shady ass mofos, bro. So
then there's those.
Yeah.
But would you say girls like the guys that have edge, that have certain red flags?
Yeah,
definitely. There's like I think there's
excitement,
a kind for everyone, you know, and it just depends on what you're looking for at. I want to say at the time, maybe again, if it's a repeated pattern, then that's on you, and you kind of need to pick up signs that, babe, the choices you're making is not it. But you know, I think it's just one of those things that depends what guy. You know, I don't know. Like, I've been told by a nice guy that I was mean, I guess, in a sense, because since he was a nice guy, I didn't like pick him or whatever.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And I'm like,
first of all, bro, just because you're a nice guy doesn't mean I have to pick you. This is the problem that men don't realize. You could be a nice guy, you could be an asshole, you could be everything in between. Just because you're a nice guy, that doesn't mean I have to pick you because you're a nice guy.
Or first of all, just don't like ready you for that.
What if I don't want vanilla?
And that's respectable. At least you know that, you know, like, and you're not wasting anybody's time. And at that point, you can't even be blamed because you're not even engaging with that. You're going through your own shit. You're wanting to go through your, you know, so it's not really like somebody can sit there and be like, oh, well, she's ignoring me because I'm a nice guy. Like, no, like, that's not even the case. I'm over here. You putting yourself in that situation.
I mean, but you can have a complete nice guy that treats you like a princess or a queen on the outside, but indoors he can be a complete demon in the bed. You don't know that. You know what I mean?
My perfect person.
Oh well, that another.
She said that's my perfect person.
Can you manifest that for me? Like, fuck.
Yes, that would be nice. I wouldn't want a demon in the bed. I'd like someone who knows how to do a little bit of both, some intimacy and sensualism, and that would be nice.
You see, but that also could be a problem too, because you can have the nice guy treat you perfectly well.
Okay.
And then in the bedroom, you know, they don't know what to do because they were never shown how to be affectionate, passionate, intimate. They had ever since, and it all goes back to their childhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a big problem. Like for me, case in point, personally, when I was a kid, I was never shown affection. I was always told, stay in the room, don't come out. You know what I mean? I was abused, tortured when I was a kid. I had to learn how to love myself in order to learn other people. And people that were in my life taught me about friendship, love, passion, care, just to be a decent human being and care.
Right.
Those are all the qualities that I had to learn the hard way in order for me to not become a psychotic human being on the outside.
I think a
David,
lot
I
of
don't
people
think you're
struggle
going
with the
enough
same
about
thing
all
though.
other deepness. What? No, go-
My thing is I feel like people need to identify those issues within themselves before they get involved in relationships. He'll work through that
Yeah,
because you drag down someone else in your own toxicity.
Do you think
yeah,
that's
Not
red
the
flag? 'Cause
intent,
they don't?
obviously, because people want to feel that and people are attracted to toxicity also.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's one of the things us as people, all of us need to work on. So many people get into relationships they're not ready for, get into relationships they shouldn't be in, get into relationships that you're not in that place and all you do is damage someone else.
there's rebounds too.
Yeah.
And would you consider that a red flag from someone
With what?
with them knowing that they have trauma from a kid and
Yeah. I
have that
mean,
as an
there's
adult and have not did anything to change?
see, the thing is it's difficult to point that out early. That's one of those hidden flags that come out of nowhere because you're
Mm,
getting to know someone. And it could be at a point where you're already somewhat invested emotionally.
yes.
And it's harder to pull away from that when you see someone. Are you really gonna see that was gonna lead to another question? What are the stuff that like is there a certain level of flags that all right, I'm at a point. Like how many strikes do you give someone?
Damn.
I'm gonna be straight up, and y'all know this. I could give you multiple chances. You just not having a baby on me.
Really? So you would stick
Once
around
that happens,
for everything other than having a baby on you? So let's
it's
say
not even
homeboy.
about like I don't know.
No, I'm
It's just
trying to think of the
more.
worst scenario ever first.
That's
Wait.
like the worst
That,
scenario.
I just feel like now I just love red Six Flags because hearing y'all where you're stopping at, I'm like, damn, I should have really not went forward in other relationships with those things. So
I know, you know what it is. I think my red flags have changed as I've gotten older. There are things that I ignored. I mean, when I was with my stepkid's father,
mhm.
there was so many red flags early in that situationship that I should have just let it go before I allowed it to become a relationship and we became more committed and things progressed. There were so many things that I accepted because I was so emotionally invested at the time. And like that's the person I want to be with. We're gonna work this out kind of thing. And I accepted cheating. I accepted I mean he had two kids already, you know, and there were things that looking back, I don't regret any of my decisions. It made me who I am today. However, there are things that I wouldn't accept now in any type of relationship that I'm going moving in going forward. I'm not gonna overlook your dumb stupidity bullshit. I'm not gonna overlook that you need stop you get comfortable. Men get comfortable sometimes also.
Yes.
I think that's I don't like when men try to take kindness for weakness. That's another thing
Mhm.
that I had to go through recently. Um,
Mm.
it's just there are levels to it. And my threshold has lowered as I've gotten older. There's been so much that I'm willing to accept at this point where when I was much younger, I looked over a lot.
I think we could all agree to that. I'm sure we've all
Yeah.
been.
No,
You know,
I
Oh,
agree.
of course.
So is cheating okay? Just having a baby is your hard stop, Eva?
I mean, it's not, and I'll be honest.
like if you
I
want to
think
come on, drop your
I don't
email.
think I don't think cheating is okay for Eva. I don't know why she
it's
just said
not
that.
cheating. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think like cheating is something I can look past or whatever. But I will say that there were certain situations in my time where I did overlook them.
Hmm.
I have to. I've overlooked
You
cheating.
know, for X reason, whatever I had in mind or whatever, or a lot of it happens when you're in a marriage with kids.
Yeah.
I think a
You
marriage
try
is
to overlook a lot of it because you're just like, oh, for us, for the kids, for the family, for this.
yeah.
For
I
that.
think marriage changes you hopping.
Yeah.
So it was
things on.
maybe something like that, and then there were situations where I kind of overlooked certain things like that. But then that one is where I can, I'm saying, once you have that child.
Yeah, I mean, I think once she's pregnant, not have the child pregnant, okay, that means go. That means bye.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So
I think at
yeah, how
some
many
point we all
strikes?
have to work at our own childhood traumas in order to
We have to.
become better versions of ourselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
So you have to,
absolutely.
whatever you went through in the past, you have to learn how to love and forgive that person you were back then in order for you to heal and continue on. And that way you could be a better version of yourself in the long run. Especially at our age now, it's it's a big waste of time to worry about what this person's doing, what that person's doing. You got too much shit to worry about at home.
Mhm.
You know, you got your kids, you got your family,
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out there that still haven't gone back and dealt with their childhood traumas, and they're messing up other people's families.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
It's
true.
it's sad. I think, and I don't. It's where people in general just lack self-awareness, and where they just don't give a fuck, and it's their own toxicity that thinks that it's just okay. It's not okay to be damaged and willing to damage someone else.
Right.
Accept that you're
Right.
damaged, know that you need to work on some things, and know when you shouldn't be dragging someone else along with it.
That part.
It also goes down with kids too. I mean, I'm still
Yeah.
learning, and I'm a father of 5 girls. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn, I forgot. I thought it was 4 and it's 5.
no, it's 5. It's like the way I was raised, my father and then his father before him, you're not allowed to speak about your emotions. You're not allowed to complain.
Right.
Get your ass up and go to work. That's what you're supposed to do. Provide. Make sure your
Right.
family's okay. Make sure they never see the homelessness. Make sure that they always got food in their mouth, clothes on their back, place to sleep in. That's what a man does. So you
Right.
crying, go walk it off. Get out of here. That's the way. And it was sometimes it was beaten to me because I wasn't. Then I got to a point where I had a shut off switch. I just
Yeah.
didn't show any emotion at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So all I did was work and provide, but I had no one to talk to. I had no one to help me deal with anything that I was going on back then.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates a domino effect when it comes down to your children, because now I can't tell them you're not allowed to show emotion. You're not allowed. I have to break that cycle.
Yeah.
I have to make
And
sure that
I think that's something that I think culturally a lot of us do to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay for them to show emotion while we're more softer with girls, and we got to be, no, you're a boy, you're not supposed to cry, and that's not
I
realistic.
never agreed with that.
They're still people, they're still
Yep.
human, and they're allowed to feel. Like,
And they have to
that's
know
one of
and
the things
understand
that,
what they're feeling.
yeah,
yeah.
young
And
boys
I don't know
get
if you
that.
noticed this, like children nowadays, they shut like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Their attention
like,
span is really small.
they're really small, but they're like my daughters.
No.
I always try to express to them, talk about how you feel. Don't
Yeah.
be afraid to talk about how you feel. Don't be afraid to explain yourself. Even if you get angry and you have to curse, do it. Just get it out of your system.
Mhm.
Don't hold it in, because
get
that's you're damaging
frustrated.
yourself. You get frustrated, damaging yourself.
Yep. They don't know how to communicate the emotions, and that's one of the problems I think all of us growing up. We weren't taught how to properly communicate emotions.
Yeah.
We didn't
Exactly.
have the opportunity.
And children,
Mhm.
well, they did. Our adults didn't know how to properly communicate it,
So we
right?
didn't
And then
have
as
that.
children, we don't have that guidance because they don't know either, and we're not allowed to feel how we're feeling, so because it's what they say and that's it. And now
Mhm.
that process, this generation I think is doing much better with being open with understanding that children are still processing their emotions. We still learning how to figure that out as an adult. It's harder for kids to do it as well. I mean, they don't even know what they're feeling half the time. And to expect them to know how to communicate it, the best thing, like David said, is just giving them an open road to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
And if this, however you feel like it needs to be put out there, but put it out there.
Like, I love those calls when I get, Mom, I think I got anger issues. What do you mean? Tell me if this is wrong. And she'll tell me, and I'm like, no, like, you're right. We'll talk it up. But I do like break it down to her because I need her to understand like those feelings, and what to do with them. So definitely, it's different timings. But I wish I had that. I think I would have been a lot prepared for a lot more had I maybe been able to talk to somebody about things.
Meg mentioned hurt people, but sometimes don't realize how damaging that could be for someone else. And seeking mental health was frowned upon a lot. So and that's the stuff that
I mean, that wasn't a thing back then. Back then, seeking mental health wasn't a thing back then. Like, my mom.
That's not for Latinos.
And my no, for Latino families, what?
It's not for
they'll beat it out of you before you get beat before you get talked to a doctor.
Yep.
I asked my dad. I remember because I had
need that shit.
An actual traumatic experience, and I had told my dad, like, hey, like, I think I need to talk to somebody. Like, I think I need to see a therapist. My dad was like, ¿Quieres ir a ver a un loquero? Like, what? ¿Estás loca? I'm like, no, I just want to talk to somebody. And they're like,
yeah, man, you talk to my belt. That's you talk to.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
got birds, you got a dog, you got
go. Go talk to the animals.
Talk to the wall. I remember talk to the wall.
Yep.
Talk to the wall.
It is very common in the minorities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That you're not allowed to, look for outside help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the idea of don't be talking about our business.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
They don't, right? It's that embarrassment. There's shit. I think that's the thing. The core is they know they were failing or fucking up, and they didn't know any way to fix that. So to talk about it, it just validates it.
Yeah, and it's gonna make them be accountable for what they've done.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't want to be held accountable. Kidding me? Make them look bad. It's like damaging to their soul.
It's like, how could you talk about our family that way?
Not for men and boys. No, more for men and boys. Yes, more for men and boys. Right. You guys, unfortunately, the young boys in our culture or in minority cultures, you're expected to be a man in that sense, and where you're talking and do you think emotional?
And do you think that affects that's them as a child, right? And as they grow up, do you think that causes someone to have more red flags because of that growing up like that?
Absolutely, because they don't know how to communicate their emotions as an adult.
Yeah.
They don't know how to deal with their emotions as an adult. They don't even know if it's okay to have emotions as an adult.
What is that?
Because we're so busy. We have that thing where men are so hardwired that way.
Mm-hmm.
We're hardwired not to have that. We don't know what it's like
to. You guys are super emotional creatures. Without even realizing it, it's just you don't know how to. There's no outlet there.
Yeah.
So what do you get when we don't have an outlet? You get anger.
Exactly.
You get resentment. You get explosions.
Yep.
Right.
You get fit explosions of anger because we were never taught that. We weren't taught to speak on anything. We had to shut up. You know what I mean? We had to shut up and just keep moving forward. That was our job. That was our one job. And if we didn't adhere to that job, we got our asses whipped for it. So growing up, you don't know how to express that emotion. You don't know how to even think about opening that door, especially to your partner. Like, how am I supposed to talk to her about what I'm feeling and what I'm going through when all she's going to get is an explosion of all these feelings all at once?
Yeah.
See, women can talk to a man and talk about a bunch of different things at one time, but it's one after another consistently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when men finally explode because we can't hold it anymore, it's years and years and years of shit getting dumped onto the female, and it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do with that now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of men that's out there that don't know how to speak, we are held up to a higher standard.
Boys are held to a higher standard. That communication is seen as
soft. That's right.
Exactly.
It is fucking sad.
But it's not.
Yep.
And you know what's so fucked up about that? Women have left men for that. Because the whole entire relationship, they've been this stone cold provider, this, that, and the third, and everything that a man is supposed to be, right? Held to this standard. The moment they show a sign of weakness, they hold them down here, and it's like, I'm with a pussy now. I need to be with him.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
it's true. It's very true. Because
I'm not
now
gonna say no women have, but it's hard for me to
Yeah.
imagine me doing anything like that. Because when you really, really genuinely care or love someone, they're good, they're bad comes with it, right? However, there is an extent to the bad. With that said, though,
Mhm.
because you showed a little vulnerability, and for me, that's probably something I've been trying to pull out of you for fucking years. Like, finally, give me something.
Yeah.
Like you can feel. Oh my God, you actually have a
A
heart in there.
breakthrough.
Holy crap! Now let's try to get this in order. Shit. But
Yeah, I don't think
but
that's all things.
a lot of guys seem when they get that vulnerability, they don't want to seem weak.
I don't think
I
that
You
get
they're
know,
that.
that though.
they don't want to seem weak, especially to their partner, especially in front of their kids. You know how many men,
Oh
including
yeah,
myself, I've caught myself doing it. I don't cry in front of my kids.
yeah,
I go to
Why?
the room because I'm
yeah.
afraid because my kids hold me up such here like I'm a superhero
Mm,
that my daddy's strong.
Yeah.
Nothing can ever phase him. I can talk to him. He can handle this and beat up anybody. And the moment and they hold me to such a high standard because I'm their superhero
Yeah.
that if they show me being vulnerable or having some type of emotion that's opposite of what they know or what they see, then oh my God, that is that is not good. That is not
That's
normal. Like
not.
what is that?
No, no, no,
It's
no,
not
no.
that
See,
they'll
that's
see it
not
as it not being normal. You right there are letting them know that it's okay
to be
to have these
human.
feelings,
That
to
and that
be a
goes
man and to be vulnerable. So when they see
yes,
that, it's
correct.
like, what do I do? Do I
mhm.
help? Do I stand back? What, like, I don't
Yeah,
know how to
women don't
handle
even
this
know
right
how
now.
to receive that because
Mm-hmm.
we're not raised to see it.
Yeah.
That's
So
exactly that's my point.
it's generational BS that we got to learn and work
It's
through.
generational battery. That's what it is.
It's one of those things where if we're going through all this, we are breaking those curses.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what and like I
It's
said
having that
before, like it's even
conversation first.
yeah, even though it's still hard for me
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so hardwired that way that I don't cry in front of my kids, but I know for a fact that there's gonna be one day that I'm just not gonna they're just gonna look at me one day and tears are just gonna start falling. And they're not gonna understand why.
They're
Mhm.
going to
You
hug
know what I
you
mean?
and tell you
Oh,
how
of
much they
course.
love you. And that's what's
Of
going to
course.
happen. That's more you wanting to be a specific type of image for them.
Mhm.
I promise you, you'd be surprised on how they receive you when you open up.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. Take it from a daddy's girl too.
Yeah.
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 Like everything
Seriously.
you just said is exactly how I viewed my dad. My dad to
Yep.
me was like everything, my hero. Like my dad had 3 jobs and would still come home and I'd be like, I want to play. And he'd be like, okay, like let's play.
It's not a
He'd
bad
get
thing
us
Yeah.
to
tired. I'm
humanize
sorry.
yourself
I
to
had
them.
3 jobs before.
Yep.
I
Don't be
don't got
afraid to
that
be
time.
you when your kids are old enough to understand. I think, under 5, you're always going to be a superhero to them, regardless of what you show, what emotion you show.
Mhm.
Right.
7, 8, 9, they're starting to really learn be what it is to be a person. And then in their teenage years, they're learning what it is to find themselves.
Themselves.
So
Mhm.
it's they don't think about anyone else but themselves. Teenagers suck, but you know,
Tell me how you really
That
feel
part,
about.
right?
that's the truth. I love them, but they still suck. But I understand it's part of the growing process.
Yeah.
Be open to letting them find themselves at the same time understanding the values of being a person. And when you can be that for them, they'll learn from that. Even though they're not learning it now, they will.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They will.
That's the hope. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And we
No,
hope that's
it's
what it
very
is.
true. It's
Yeah.
very true because, like, I think I told you guys last time too. Like, my daughter has sent me a video. It was like some TikTok, but it was saying how, like, yeah, when you're little, like, you're just like, oh, mom, like, oh my god. And then it's like as you grow up and you transition into these phases in your life, your mom just becomes like that best friend. At the end of the day, you're like, oh my god, I could not have done it with all that drama, bullshit, whatever I wanted to say it was, but you've always been there, type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things that when you get older and like I look back into what my dad meant to me and still meant to me at the last day, but I did get to see him in a vulnerable stage. I did get to see him be human, like
Yeah.
just be one of us.
It's
like
it's
not the
it's
superhero.
surprisingly
That must have
a
been hard for him too.
And
oh,
to me, I
absolutely. I'm
felt
sure it was.
heartbroken because I was like,
Yeah.
Mm.
how do I fix you?
hmm
You fix me when I'm broken. How do I fix you? You know
And
what I
that's
mean? I just can't.
and your father probably, I mean, I don't know him obviously, but
Right.
he could have looked at you while he was in that vulnerable statement, like, oh no,
It's
I
not your
shouldn't be
job
crying
to
in front
fix
of her.
him. Right.
Probably.
The thought
You
is
know what I
it's
mean?
not your job to try to fix him. He doesn't want you to feel that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
it's right. It's he's the parent, he's the adult. He's supposed to be this, right? This
Yeah.
rock for
Yeah.
you. But I think it's more as an adult understanding for the good, the bad, whatever I went
Ugly.
through growing up, and with the beatings, with the lessons, with the punishments, and with everything good in between as well,
Mhm.
the trauma. I'm not mad for any single thing I've been through. I do appreciate what my parents did. I understand now their own issues internally and how it reflected into us. um I also understand where certain insecurities played in and they reacted certain ways. I understand now more than I ever did when I was younger. Regardless of where it defined who I am today. So do I hate what I went through? Not at all. It's character building and helped me be a stronger person with who I am today. So I think
Beautiful.
that's one of the things that all of
That's
us
what's
need to
up.
get to a point to, and it's just being able to acknowledge where those things are, being able to work through them within yourself. I know I have issues because of this. How do
Mhm.
I make this better for me today? Holding on to that anger, that resentment, that BS, and all that crap, it's only going to keep you angry.
I
Let
think
it go and understand.
that draws a question in my head now is if you meet someone that's always trying to fix people, do you think that that's a red flag within themselves?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
absolutely. I think
That
someone who
person will have the biggest problems on
Mhm,
earth, but they're still trying to make everyone happy and trying to fix other people. And they can't
mhm.
even fix themselves because they don't know where to start.
Yeah,
So if they don't know where to start with themselves, they say, you know what? Let me put myself in the back burner. Let me fix everybody else.
Focus on anybody else.
Yeah.
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 yeah. I don't want someone who does that for everyone else because I want someone who puts them first because when you really know how to love yourself, you can genuinely love someone else, right?
Yes.
And you can really say, I'm doing this because I want to do this for you, kind
Mhm.
of thing, as opposed to it's because it's going to benefit me. I don't
Mm.
want that, right? It's just, I don't know. People
I
need
get that.
to, selfishness is good sometimes, a lot of times.
A lot of times.
I'm a selfish bitch, but it's okay.
So we went through some red flags. We went through some red flags that you guys will keep moving forward on. But I think we saved the best for last is acknowledging your own red flags. And
hmm
can you be honest about your red flags?
Right.
What would you
I know one of my red
Eva,
flags.
Eva took a whole deep breath.
Eva, what's going on there?
I'm curious. I don't know if Eva acknowledges her red flags yet. Do you, Eva? Maybe.
I'm trying to think. Like,
Oh, you don't? You think you don't have any?
no, I may have
Oh,
one
okay.
too many.
Oh shit.
One too many.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick which ones I want to share. Whew, okay.
I mean, at least you're honest about it. So
Hmm.
there's that.
I think for me, one of my, I think my biggest red flag.
They got both of them rethinking how they're gonna answer.
No, because I don't see it as a red flag, but I know is an issue there.
Okay.
It's a independent dependency issue, right? I am extremely independent, and it's difficult for me to release that to be dependent on someone else in my life. So when you're overly independent, to allow someone to step in and come in and be part of
It's
your life
hard.
is hard to open up that window and trust you to be able to work with me. So I know that's a big thing for me to bring down those barriers. if you're not adding to my life, I think I see Tracy Ellis Ross say this on Instagram the other day. If you're not adding to my life, then I'd rather be by myself. And that's whether people think that's
I don't
wrong or
think that's a
not.
red flag, though. I think that's
However,
understanding.
it can be because it's isolating. It's isolating,
Yes.
right? And as people, granted, I'm not saying that I need or want someone there, but it does isolate you because your standards are so much higher. Sometimes you have to be willing to work with people. And I understand there needs to be a balance, and I haven't discovered that balance yet.
We're not there yet, because I'm agree with Val on this one. Like I'm kind of like on that one, where I'm just kind of like, I'm very quick to cut people off. Very quick. Like if the minute I see a red flag for me, and I'm like,
I think people need to be honest with the type of red flags that you're willing to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And alongside with Eva, if I know that's not I'm not with that one, right? I'm not gonna waste my time with it. Like I told you guys before, if you've never been independent on your own, you've never been living, that I would not accept. I'm sorry, and I know New York is different. Rent is hard and expensive, but no, you're showing me a character flaw. So also there's other things like potential for income and ambition and what kind of drugs you do, and there's other things that I probably wouldn't pass, but it's just being able to know what you're willing to deal with. That's self-awareness, as opposed to, oh yeah, it's okay, I'm gonna look past, but it drives you crazy and you're resentful, and then you're blaming this person for choices you made to stay there.
Right. Expecting them to be who we wanted them to be.
Yeah.
And at that point, only disappointed yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one of my biggest ones right now, where I do the same thing. I kind of isolate myself because I'm like very just, oh, you want to be like that? Oh, you want to say stupid shit like that? All right, block, bye.
Yeah. I think we all have that in common here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
David's
what?
Like, not so much.
Yeah, we've kind of been going through that similar journey and alongside with each other too. So we're kind of like, like we see that now. We see that out there. But these are things like kind of I said a little bit earlier. The flags also change. Huh?
Oh yeah, she said send me a selfie, block. That's a
with no conversation. Block.
David, how long? Well, you probably haven't been single for a long time, so you don't know the dating world in today's reality, right?
No, I'm very absent from that.
Right? Can you explain the thought process in a man, right? The thought process. Explain to me the concept of yes, that's my word. The concept of asking for a selfie with someone you just started speaking to, and you see their pictures on social media.
You see their pictures on social. Well, you already know what they look like on social media. What the hell you need a selfie for?
That's what I'm saying. What are you asking me for a picture for? What do you want to see? What more do you want to see?
You ain't posting on Instagram.
He wants to know
he wants to know what she looks like underneath the damn clothes. Show me that.
Right, but I just started speaking to you. So what kind of bitch do you think I am?
Exactly.
Right, and
that's maybe also how they test the water.
That's a red flag. Block.
It's a red flag. I automatically ghost them. Oh,
but at that point, you're just putting yourself.
Yep.
It's if he already has seen everything that you have on social media, there could be those small instances where he wants a selfie of you now, not versus what you have on social media, because for all we know, those could be from like 10 years ago.
Right.
Hey.
But if I send you that picture,
I'm just saying.
No. But if I send you a picture, what if I send you the exact same pictures? What difference would it make if I send you the exact same picture? Don't you think making time for a date, or maybe even doing a FaceTime, would be more acceptable to see something?
FaceTime, yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of catfishing out there. You can't front. There's.
I know.
It's like, this is what you don't look like on Instagram. Why you look like this?
Right. Social media is a liar. I understand.
It is.
Right. But I would rather you say, hey, can we make some time to FaceTime? Or I'd like to meet you so we can talk, maybe have some coffee or lunch, right?
Ice cream, something.
Before you ask me for a fucking selfie. For a pic.
Yeah, I agree. I would, if it were me, like I said, I haven't been on the dating scene in God knows how long.
It's
But
the
anyway,
most common thing I come across. That's why we
but
talk about it.
I would rather
Mhm.
FaceTime with you because I'm looking at you. Obviously, you
Right.
can't fake that.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, I don't need a
Mental
picture of
process.
you. If now they created FaceTime, they created, all this other stuff that you can interact with each other with. But it's not like how it was back in the day where we actually had to go and meet you.
Right.
Mhm.
Kids don't know what a rotary phone is now. They don't know what a
No.
beeper is.
Nope.
What the hell is that? They don't
Payphones.
know. I had to go knock on my friend's door to see if he can
Can I
come out and
borrow
play.
Bro, for
Can I borrow
real.
you from? Can I
Yes.
borrow some bread?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So the whole connect with another person is not there anymore. That's why they have, the telephones, they have, the social media. That's how everybody connects now.
Yeah.
So
Trash.
they don't,
Fucking trash.
I mean, yeah, it is.
Honestly, I think it is very attractive too, in a sense, when somebody is showing that initiative. Like, instead of just calling me FaceTime, they ask, "Are you doing something right now? Are you busy? Can we FaceTime?" Like, when I received that, I was like, "Oh," because normally I just have guys calling me, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm not talking to you. You asked
Megan
me.
says, growing up, my dad was not emotional at all, and it was difficult for me. I never really saw him vulnerable, and I grew up searching for the type of bond. But now that I grew up, I understand, and our relationship is much better. I came out and said it to my dad and had a conversation with him about it because it was important.
That's dope.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, especially girls with their dads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
know what it is.
they are our superheroes, but I'm guessing, David, I want to say to you, you're always going to be their superhero, regardless of whether or
Yeah.
not your emotion shows. I'm telling you right now, you're always going to be that person to them because you're their dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I think men need to understand. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to feel and accept those feelings. And with what I do for a living, I speak to so many different people and so many different situations in their own lives, and understanding that they don't have an outlet. And that's one of the sad parts about our culture and our generation is men should be willing to be able to be more communicative about emotional feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That also comes with comfortability too, and having that option to come to you first.
Yeah.
And not be forced to speak about it because the other person wants to know right then and there.
Right. Right. It's at
But
their
if you
time.
have that, yeah. So it's like you're HR and you have to open the open door policy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that open door policy to where I come in and then now I explain to you everything that's going on. Now you got to do what's best for the company, the family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What adjustments need to be made.
How do we make this better?
How do we make it better? How can we work together to make it better so that way it'd be easier for you and me? But if you don't have that open line, that man's he's gonna continuously be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna continuously taking all the weight on his shoulders because that's what he's meant to do. That's what he believes himself is meant to do. That's what he's done his whole entire life.
Which, yeah, if you don't take the initiative to be better, right, as a person, when you realize those things really cause red flags in people, because then you're gonna have those same behaviors that you watched growing up, So it's good to be, just aware of your own characteristics that need improvement. But since the ladies shared their own red flags, David, at the point in your life now, and he's looking around, can you pinpoint what is some red flags about you?
Definitely one I have pushed people that have wanting to get close to me away because I'm afraid to lose them. After
that one hit deep.
That's deep.
Yeah. After I lost my brother Julian and my cousin Michael, those were Those were the two biggest pieces of my heart that was like completely ripped out of me.
Mm.
So the history that I have with those two guys and the impact that they had on my life, you know, Julian saving my life more than once. And Mikey just being the cousin that he is and the person that he is, the heart that he has. And Julian also he also guided me in different ways of trying to see life as not so chaotic, but there's other great things about it
Mm-hmm.
that'll make you want to go that direction. And when I lost them too, anybody that I have met we have anything remotely like in common or anything that we can enjoy together, it's like I can possibly see that person becoming a really close friend, but I keep them within arm's distance because I don't think I could deal with that crushing blow again.
Mm.
I get that.
Yeah.
Do you think more is maybe after losing somebody that's when you start changing that? Or did you know that you were like that before?
No, I never knew that I was like that before. I've always had when it came to life and death, I always had like a thing where I was just numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was numb to the people dying in my family, so I was just numb. But Mikey died. That was such an incredible blow because he was so young when he died.
Mm.
Julian the same. When he died, he was very, very young. So those were the two that were closest to me that I've actually felt the damage.
Mm.
So when I felt that damage, and it broke me. Like I became broken after that. So I shield myself with such a wall that I'm too afraid to accept anybody else to take their place as a close friend or a best friend, a brother. You know what I mean? So it's like I even got invited, at the gym. You got gym buddies there. I got invited to go out and hang out with some of the guys that they have their own brotherhood. And I kind of had like a little red flag about that, but I was like, nah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it sounds cool and everything, but whatever.
Do you feel like you're robbing yourself out of probably like really healthy friendships?
I very well be, robbing myself from that, robbing myself blind from it.
Mm-hmm.
And within myself, I feel that I'm keeping myself safe, and I know that it's not a safe thing to do. It's not one of those. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
I know that it's not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I stay in the position that I'm at because I'm content.
Feel safe.
And this is my safe area. I'm not afraid to go out of my safe area, but if I see or notice something that's gonna interrupt that safety, I go back to my safe area. So that's why I push a lot of guy friends that I can possibly have away.
Yeah.
And I keep them at a distance. Like I don't even hit them up on my phone. Like that's how distant I am.
Do you want that to change?
At some point, yeah, I would like it to change, but it's just one of those hard things.
I think David, because it just sounds so familiar. I want to say maybe it's also a way of mourning.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it too.
Because everything you just said, I feel the same way since my dad passed. Like I was even thinking about it, looking at some pictures. I was like, I don't even smile the same.
Yeah, me either. It's just not the same.
Like I could cheese on a picture and you feel like, but you'll look at my picture of like back then when I was like with my dad or something, and you can see that the smile is completely different. Yeah. So I feel maybe, and it's just like what you were saying. Like I've been numb to it. Being in the medical field, you too, you know about that. Death is just there. It's very present, and you're just like, okay, another one type of thing.
Yeah.
But then when this one happened, even though I was already expecting it and I knew it was coming, I was mentally preparing myself that when it did happen, it did completely numb me out. And I don't think I've been able to move past that since. So what you're saying sounds very familiar with what I'm going through too.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time.
It will take time. I mean, one of the things is, I mean, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, but I think one of the things is acknowledging.
Let me give this disclaimer.
Right. Right. I have to do this disclaimer. I think one of the important part is acknowledging where your pitfalls are and how do if I want to change it, if I'm comfortable with where it is, and fine, I'm not going to change it. But if you want it to be different, take those baby steps.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be something where you're jumping into a whole group of people, but maybe just a drink once with one of the guys to watch a game.
You can keep
See
it
how you feel. You can still keep yourself distant. You can still I mean, it's just take your own baby steps. I think people will adapt to how you're approaching it, kind of thing. But I doubt your family, for both you and Eva, would want you to pull yourself away or retract yourself from people who could genuinely love you.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but like sometimes it's hard. Like with me, for instance, like even today, I had a family gathering to go to. I had the option to go to, and I chose not to. I'm not ready.
I don't ever go to any family gatherings. Ever.
Like,
it winds up violent all the time. It just never ends well.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to force yourself, right? But
Right.
when you're ready, then go ahead and go, you know? But it's okay to say, no, I don't want to. That's totally fine. Your feelings are valid. It's just a healing process. And you can't rush a process. Everyone's healing process is different.
Yeah.
But at least you cannot put a time to it.
You can't.
No, not at all.
But at least be open at some point. Like, at least taking baby steps to then move forward from it. Whenever that is, you know, your timing to do so. But I really appreciate, David, for you coming on. I really appreciate you sharing really personal information and being open with us and open to everyone listening to us.
Yes.
You know, who knows how many people that you touched with your own personal struggles. So thank you for that, for being so just like blunt and honest about your own, you know, red flags.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a good one, ladies.
Yes.
Red flags. You know, I like them sometimes. But
I know you love them.
I love them. Hey.
You know what's another one that I may look past?
I
know, I'm telling you, mines are very small and petty. Not knowing how to dance.
Wait, you may look past. I don't understand that. Wait,
I may look past it. It's very important for me. I like to dance, and if you can't dance, it's like
you're gonna have to teach.
I mean, what if you got bad knees? You don't know,
bro. I got bad knees. I still make it happen. Put some what's it called?
WD-40.
No, now you just called me rusty. Shit. I mean, you know, rip some Tiger Balm on that. Let's go. Let's dance. But or even if you're willing and open to dance, but like when there's some guys that are just like, no, I don't dance. Like I don't dance. I'm like, okay, you can not dance your way out of here.
You got to share at least one story.
I don't think that dancing is a problem.
I
don't think.
I like music.
I know, but he could learn, or he could at least learn to do a two-step. Okay, I mean
that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to overlook that one.
Okay, all right.
If there's
I don't know if that's
like a teaching moment, perfect. But if
you know, it's another. I mean, I don't know if this is a red flag thing. Never. Now that I'm thinking about it, but if you got a poor oral hygiene, oh my god, that drives me fucking crazy.
I mean, you got to be pretty goddamn. You got to be pretty goddamn selfish and not know your breath is hot.
But it's not even that, because see, I will immediately turn medical. I'd be like, bro, have you gotten yourself checked out? It looks like you have a gastro problem going on, because you're like failing right now.
I mean, you have gingivitis, something. I mean, like, can you? Oh my god, do something. Like
yeah, no.
We're all adults. I mean, fix your teeth, please fix your teeth, please fix your breath. Please, that to me, I can't do it.
You want to know what's one for me? It may sound petty to y'all, but women's feet.
No,
your shit.
That's a common.
I'm sorry, but
that's more common than you think.
if your feet are doing this and toes is all, I mean, you better tell me you was a ballerina at one point. I'm sorry.
So it's okay if she was a
No,
ballerina.
you know, if you a ballerina, your toes is permanently like this. They locked.
Yeah.
They're not going nowhere.
Right.
And if your toenails is like this long for no reason, no. I have a problem with women having nails.
Wintering the toes. They were
Listen,
winter mode.
Okay, I understand winter hibernation. You know, my mom doesn't shave her legs in the winter. I get it. You know, women don't like to shave. It's the winter. They like the hair. You can keep them warm and whatnot. I get it. Cool. I'm just saying, like, if you got it, you go get your nails done, and your nails. I'm sorry. You know how many men get exposed every day.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? When men pee halfway, when men pee, we flush the toilet so we can beat the water.
Why? Why?
Something that men do. I don't know. It's just something that men do. It's like, you know, women get their nails done. Their nails is like this long. How do you wipe yourself?
Look, I think there's stages with that, because I used to like having nails like acrylics and having them long and all this stuff. And even with my kids, they were babies and littles, and I never scratched them. I never hurt them. Like, now I can't even fucking type. With acrylics, I'm like, I don't know what happened.
My bad, Anna. I wasn't paying attention.
I have to hold on, Eva, because I have to go back to David's comment about women.
The nails with wiping. I wanted to add to, but go ahead.
Hold on, let me get to that. But women that just like to leave it and not shave for how long though?
The winter months, not shaving their legs is a thing, bro.
All the months though, like the whole time.
First of all, we start with no shave November. Okay, don't I
get that, but like the
October, November, December, January, like unless there's an event, there's not. I'm not doing it as often as I do in the summer because nobody's seeing my legs.
Instead of shaving every day, you're probably shaving.
I can get that.
That's
I don't get like doing it though when I'm with someone.
What do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, let's say I'm in a relationship and I'm just going months in the winter without shaving.
Nah, bro.
Yeah. Bro, if you hold on, time out. What? If you with me, you with me with all of me. We together, you with me with my hairy legs and not my hairy legs, with my unwaxed.
Baby, you better start corn rolling them shits. Like, this is a teamwork.
Hey, look, if you're gonna start having them legs as hairy as fuck, you might as well have your own blanket. Don't you share no blanket with me.
Really?
I have my own blanket.
I can see
I generate my own heat. I don't need another furry heater next to me. You know what I mean?
It don't go that bad. It don't get that bad.
I don't think I can see a week or 2 weeks, right? Like for me, but I don't think that should be like the whole winter.
Okay, but then I know Val does too. I wax my legs.
Oh, I don't wax my legs.
So growing the hair is kind of like already a thing.
Well, the only reason why I understood like the winter not shaving your legs or whatever is because, well, let's face it. Do I see any of you going out in 10-degree weather in a bikini? No.
Not even that, but I'll be honest, girls, y'all could back me up on this. But for me, at least, when I shave, let's say I have to shave, and I have to, whatever. I just shave for fucking sakes. I don't know. And it's cold outside, and I put jeans on, I put a sweater on, I put like everything, and so when we go outside, you still get the goosies.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
I don't say hurt. It's a bother. It's a bother, not a hurt.
When it rubs with your jeans, like, I don't know.
I think for me, though, I got to keep up with, like, the kuka waxing, though. So.
That's different.
Oh, my pandemic was a torture for me because everything was closed. But... Oh my God!
Well, then you got to take matters into your own hands. Jesus Christ!
No. Once you don't do nothing else, and then you can't wax yourself. I attempted waxing myself, and that was a disaster.
On your kuka?
Yes.
What?
We had this.
Bro, I'm not built for it. I'm not built for it. Pandemic bred some desperate times, but when I realized, I tried. I attempted. We'll talk about that off air. But yeah, no, I would never do that again.
No.
It's different.
My wax lady told me today she is 2 months away from giving birth. So then I know, like, eventually
I told my lady she can never retire.
Available.
Like
my lady,
David, Val has her waxing lady with a threat.
Fact.
Are you serious?
She cannot retire.
she
Fact.
can't. I got vaccinated for her.
That's
She was
serious.
so against it.
That's
She
serious.
got it just so that she could go get waxed.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I got a like my favorite person to go to when I get my hands and feet done. So
See?
I don't go to nobody else. If Anna
It's
ain't
like-
there, I ain't going in.
Right.
I
It's
get
just
it.
like your
Mhm.
barber. You cheating on you can't cheat on your barber,
Yes.
right?
I mean, I
Same
I
time.
cut my own hair, so I
Oh,
don't.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
If you had a barber.
You had a barber. Yeah. So I mean, the boss lady, she's good, but that's my wax lady. It's like, damn, you're gonna be out for like a couple months.
So, like, are you taking home visits? Like, can I come see you and the baby?
Right. Right. If you
I
have
hold the
something-
baby while you do your thing. Don't
I'll
worry
bring
about
you a
it.
basket.
Right? She told me today. I was like, oh man, I didn't even know. She's carrying so nicely, like couldn't even tell. I'm like, you've been delivering in 2 months. What?
What? Out of the blue, it's gonna explode. Watch.
Yeah,
If-
Yeah.
probably, yeah. But I'm happy.
That's what happened with my daughter. I was like, small belly, and then 8 months, I was like, boom. I was like, what just happened? There's a kid inside of me now.
That's funny.
It just showed up. It just showed up out of nowhere. It wasn't 9 months.
Talking about that though, really quick. Now that he brought up like doing hands and feet, like, do you think it's a red flag if a guy doesn't
Hell no.
like do manicures and
I
his feet?
need you to get your hands.
I don't think it's a red flag, but if it's
toes.
trash, and you know your shit is trash, you should at least maintain it. It doesn't have to get professionally done.
Right.
But I think men should be more
At least
willing to
even.
do manis and petties.
There shouldn't be no dirt underneath your fingernails.
no.
Nah, I don't mind that. Because a working man is a working man. It's
You can
okay
wash
as
your
long as you
hands.
clean yourself.
But clean them, yes.
I mean, before you stick
There
your
is
fingers in me,
ways
yes,
to
wash
get
your
under that
hands, right?
Exactly.
But
And just
I don't think any man should be using any type of fingers in when it comes to women anyway. That's the dirtiest part of your body.
yeah, no, you gotta wash your hands first, bro.
Yeah.
You
You're
can
not
wash your
doing
hands the
nothing.
moment it don't matter if you wash his hands till it's bleeding. It's still dirty.
Unless you don't know how to wash your hands properly.
I mean,
I mean, like I said,
fingers
He's
I
talking
tight.
about the black
I don't-
bringing the black
I don't-
flag.
I don't have to use hands, so that don't fall on me.
Okay.
I ain't gotta use hands.
Sir. Heard you.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that, well, I'm just speaking for me, but if you ladies agree, bring you on for part 2 of another episode that we have to do with another guest that was on. I think this would be interesting.
It would.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that
Oh, okay.
we
I
got
just
it.
realized.
Yeah. If you would be up to it.
Yeah.
We're doing
David,
a
you want
part
to come
2.
back?
I would love to be invited back. I'm not even front. This is fun.
You liked it? I'm glad.
I
Good,
love it.
good.
This is great. I would love to be invited back.
Yeah, I'm thinking just to get another guy's perspective on part 2 of traditional versus modern.
Relationships.
And
Oh boy.
Mhm.
Oh
Hold
boy.
your thoughts. Hold your thoughts, or maybe start.
yeah,
writing
hold
them
on,
down.
hold on. But
Oh my god.
I think that it would make it very interesting. Only because
think it would be
like
nice.
things that you spoke about today, how you perceive things when it comes to females. I think that it would definitely be interesting.
Because it's
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah, different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it would really be a different perspective, but
I would need you to go back and watch a previous episode.
yeah, you're gonna have to watch the episode itself. It's
Yes.
called traditional versus modern.
okay, I'll check it out and then I'll just have my own notes
Write
on
your
it.
notes. Write your notes. And then be prepared for part 2.
I mean,
We
yeah,
got
because today I kind of just winged it because this is like my first time on a podcast, so it's like, but I know about red flags and everything like that. So I mean, even though I haven't been out in the dating scene forever, but there's still red flags, even in people that you just meet.
Right.
Yeah.
So
broke your podcast, Cherry.
Yes, and I appreciate
yeah, she definitely did.
talking. Being open and talking, sometimes you need that, and that's one of the things that we really enjoy doing.
Mhm.
So I mean, we've all opened up about things that we didn't expect to expose sometimes, and it just
Yeah.
is releasing that energy that you don't normally
talk about
are able to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely has helped us all.
There's
I
definitely
mean, I really do hope that a lot. I mean, the men that see this, I'm not trying to catch any smoke, guys. I'm just saying it's okay to relax. All right,
Yeah.
just
Right.
relax. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
and I think the
You know,
message that you shared today is it's okay to be in tune with your emotions and express it.
yeah, it's not gonna. It doesn't make. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't make you weak or soft. It just makes you human.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Definitely, I think dating the dating scene would be much better at this point in time if people actually took a look at themselves from an outside perspective, see what things that they would need to work on, because a lot of people hold trauma, which we've done an episode before. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, trauma as a kid and what follows you as an adult. And if you're open to just opening that door and really doing the things to help change those things, would really eliminate a lot of toxic behaviors in relationships now.
Yeah.
It sure as hell would help too. Because
Yeah.
look at how when this pandemic started, you know how many domestic abuse cases popped up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many men committed suicide
Yeah.
because of this pandemic? They weren't working. They had nothing to do. They were at a loss.
Yep.
And these poor families they got destroyed.
Yeah.
Because the working man, they didn't know what to do. They had nothing to do. They had no way to talk about it. They were completely overly stressed. They weren't making money. That's one of the biggest things.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to take care of my house? How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to take it? All that weight and always being home and then dealing with the family full on. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that
two
doesn't get
people.
talked about enough is the mental health of men. And I think that we're going to probably do an episode on.
I
But
would love to do that.
Yeah, it's not.
I think we do mental check-ins, but I think having one for like
men,
only men, like having more men on the panel would be nice.
I think that definitely got to talk about that, ladies.
Definitely.
And I appreciate that, David, because you opened that door of just highlighting from a man's perspective that it's not there enough and has to be, right? Because we are big on mental health, but we also have to address it with the men more too, because it's not.
Yeah, because we can always give our point of view, but obviously it's a little bit different.
It's different from men.
It's personal.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, because it's such a hard door to push open.
Yeah.
Because we keep so much inside. It's like our mental. You can look at us right now. You look at your partner. Even if you have a partner right now, hey, how are you feeling? If he smiles, if that person smiles at you and says he's fine, he's not fine.
He's not fine.
He's dealing with a lot of shit in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I think
he just doesn't.
This will be good to have like a couple of men. So this will probably be another episode for you, David, to be on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can get on to just see their perspective on things that they may struggle with, that they may hide from the world, and who knows, right? I think it'll be good for everyone that listens to us to hear it from actual men, and they're
right.
whoever's open to do that.
Yeah, as long as they're willing and honest, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'd like the narrative to change from what's currently shown on social media, where the women don't appreciate men who could be vulnerable, and that's not real. That's not true.
Yeah, that's not
accurate. That narrative is not the reality for real women. So that's something we're going to look into and probably ask for you to join us again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Sadly, we have to cut it short. I know, like.
Oh yeah, that's right. The game is on.
We got a game to watch, y'all.
Time slot is a little up there. So, but shout out to everyone that tuned in, listened to us, commented. We really appreciate all of you. Shout out to David for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Have you back. And everyone, you can follow our YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It is all moving up. Looking at the subscribers, appreciate everyone. A reminder that you could always DM us any topics that you want, any questions for us. If you don't want to come on air, totally fine. You can always DM us. We also have our Cash App if anyone wants to send donations. Everything is under TV. Also, all our episodes get posted to Apple Podcasts afterwards. If you didn't get to go on live, it's totally fine, but you can listen to it afterwards and also on Spotify. So just to end this episode, you know, some of us like to ride the Six Flags, some of us know where it is a hard stop. But just
when you learn it over time.
You know, we learn from as we're getting older and our perspective on red flags change. If you have any comments on red flags, definitely DM us about it. Our next week's topic will be in discussion, so I will post it sometime this week. And it was definitely a pleasure. Shout out to everybody going out. If you're going out tonight to watch the games, be careful. Don't drink and drive. We definitely always express that message. Have a great time. I'm definitely rooting for Golden State because I'm just a really big Curry fan. But I'm really hyped about this series.
Lakers
and Golden State. Damn, you just say Lakers
It's
out.
hard.
Brown, bro. Yo, you're bugging.
Bruh,
I don't
if
care
you
what nobody
see
says.
Game
Come on.
You don't even have enough time.
Listen. We can talk about this later. Let's wrap. Let's
You
wrap.
see Game 2 now?
It
We got
don't
a game to
matter,
go watch.
bro. It don't matter. You
Lakers
talking about
got
King
blown
James? Get
out.
out of here, bro.
Lakers got blown.
Ugh.
You could only hold the team for so
That don't
long.
change that King James is still King James.
I mean, I'm never gonna let's before we end this, I'm never gonna shit on Bron. I love LeBron, right?
Okay.
Like he's a amazing player. He's 38 years old, still doing his thing. Shout out to him, right? But right now,
I know. First
I've
of all,
always been a Golden State
Curry's
fan.
a shooter. I get it. All right. The whole team is
Curry's
a
not
shooter.
just a
They're a shooter
shooter,
team.
though. Curry can
Come
do
on now. Come
We're
on
not
now.
gonna have an episode
Come
on
on now. Y'all don't want to get us talking about basketball. Come on now.
This is amazing. I've never heard
Huh?
women like argue about this. I'm always hearing the men
Sports?
argue about this shit. This is amazing.
sports. Nah,
This is what real women. This is what people forget. Like the social media personality is not real life. So that's part of the reason why TV exists right now.
Yeah.
I'm big in sports.
I am too. Football,
Knicks
basketball
right
is my.
Knicks
I
is in
love
the
it.
playoffs.
Well, I've always known Anna to love basketball. She's always played even with her brothers.
So just a
Mhm.
throwback, a real quick recap before we end though. David and I know each other since I'm like 14 or like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he has watched me through my tomboy phase to girly phase to an adult. So he's watched me through everything, which is probably pretty interesting when you get to see people like evolve through their life.
Right.
Yeah.
And do good. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Still big into basketball and football, so it's never gonna change.
Mhm.
Curry all day.
Oh gosh. Nah,
No,
fuck with Curry. I'm not hating on Curry. I'm only talking
I like
shit
them
because I like
both.
talking
It's-
shit.
Nah,
I'm not
it's
against
hard.
Curry in any way, but I'm gonna talk my shit just to talk shit.
Now you can
so.
talk your shit. Real
Yeah.
shit though. Klay Thompson held it down though on game 2. I'm not
Nah,
gonna-
Clay. First of all, he a
Killed
beast,
it.
bro. People be
Nah,
sleeping on him because of Curry. Nah, anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm
Look,
hyped.
I like them both. My
Um,
thing is, to me, is I grew up with the Kobe.
Yeah.
all right. So,
Mamba.
So I
right,
cannot
Lakers.
say
Yeah.
King James. I cannot like it.
It don't come out your mouth.
I'm
It don't
sorry,
come
King
out my
James
mouth.
is King
I like
James. What are you
LeBron
saying right
James.
now? What are you
He's
saying? Right
saying it because
I
now
like
he's on the
LeBron
Lakers
James, but I ain't calling him no
and
king.
Kobe was like the highlight of the Lakers. You know what I mean? And now I'm
Kobe will
I'm
always
not-
be the highlight
it's-
of the
it's-
Lakers.
but that's the
That's
thing,
not gonna
like,
change. That
I
doesn't change,
cannot-
bro. Come on, he was King James before he was on the Lakers.
I can't. No.
What? All right, you know what? All right, we're going off topic. We're going off topic. Y'all hating. Y'all just hating. Y'all just hating. I don't care what
But
nobody
the
says.
Knicks are in the
No,
playoffs
I
right
love
now.
them. I just
The Knicks are in the playoffs with the Heat. I didn't get to see the full game because I was on my way here.
I
so-
believe last I checked, I think they had another game though. They were tied 1-1
Today.
at one point.
all I know,
Today,
my phone's been
right?
buzzing
they were
like
playing
crazy.
today on my way here.
I gotta see what happened.
Butler was able to play today for the Heat, so I don't know how the game turned out. I gotta check. But the fact that they have
105-86. Heat
Who won?
leads 2-1. Heat.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. And on that note, we're out of here. Nah.
I don't really fuck with the Heat. I don't matter to me, but I will always shit talk the Knicks. So yes.
All right. Well, happy Saturday. Shout out to everyone tuning in. I love all of y'all here. Thank you. Today was a great episode. My name is Anastasia. Never average, always savage.
My name is Eva the Diva, and I do want to go ahead and say one thing because I kind of we circled around it a lot today.
Mhm.
Where you came from does not define you. It's what you do with that and where you go.
That was deep.
Love ya.
That was deep. Mhm.
And as always, stay logically valid, V Mac. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much, David, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for having me.
Bye,
Have a great night,
y'all.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.